Well, the only thing we haven't talked about, I think, unless you can think of other things,
No,
but
I'm good.
World Baseball Classic is coming up. And
Yeah.
it is actually the subject of my ASKHOLE question of the week.
Yeah, I know where this is already going.
What the fuck are the White Sox doing letting any of your players play in this meaningless World Baseball Classic? Tim Anderson is playing for the U.S., who
Yes.
coming off an injury-plagued season. Lance
Yes.
Lynn, coming off an injury, is playing for the U.S.
Yes.
Eloy Jimenez, a walking injury waiting to happen, is playing in these meaningless games for the Dominican Republic. Luis Robert Jr., by the
Junior.
way.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, that's enough talking about that. Is playing for Cuba, who hasn't played even 200 games in his major league career. I'm not even sure if what that number is. He has played an appalling few numbers of games.
I think he's played more than Fernando Tatis, though. That's what's hilarious.
Yeah, that's quite possible, actually. Yoán Moncada is playing.
He's never injured.
Yeah. I mean, these are all of your first of all, the most critical players to your season.
Yeah.
The stars of your team that you are counting on to make this happen.
I don't understand.
And also all with a history of major injuries throughout their career.
What?
So why are they playing these meaningless games? How could Rick Hahn let this happen? How can Jerry Reinsdorf not step in, who is paying their salaries, and say, I don't think so, guys. We've seen some issues here. Why would we tempt fate and play these meaningless games out of our control, where they have different coaches? There is more, at least in the players' minds, national pride. We'll be going full out in these games. We've seen it before. How can the White Sox allow this to happen?
Could you repeat the question? I'm not sure on what you're asking. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be one of the easier.
You have to be. This is an ASKHOLE segment.
Well, I know.
Be honest.
I know, and this is going to be one of the easier ones. I agree with you 100%.
Wow.
When I read it, I was like, I wasn't like, TA doesn't have a ton of injury history, but he has a little more recently. Yeah. So I wasn't so alarmed by TA, but when I saw Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Yoán Moncada, I was like,
oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding me? The fact that Eloy has pretty much injured himself every year in spring training, pretty much, and you're sending them into
a rushed spring training to get ready for these games,
right? And then putting them at competitive level prematurely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I don't. Outside of a story popping that it's written in their contract that they have to be allowed to play with, which I guess there's nothing there's nothing you can do. But I'm saying outside of that, there's no excuse for not sitting them down and saying, guys, let me ask you a question. Is your goal to win a world championship with the White Sox? Yes. Then we're going to ask you not to play in this.
Well, I don't even think you need to ask
Thanks.
them.
Thanks.
You're paying their salary. They're employees of the fucking White Sox. And I haven't seen many cases where teams have stepped in and say, fuck you, you're not playing.
No, there really hasn't been. But still.
The other side of it is you want to have a good relationship with your players. You want to just tell them what they can and can't do. They're grown men. They have, national pride. They want to play for their teams. I'm looking forward to the World Baseball Classic because it's actually more interesting than spring training games because there's a little bit of something on the line, and it's cool seeing players you don't normally see play together do so. So I'm a little bit hypocritical on this subject because I like it, but specifically for the White Sox coming off this most disappointing season ever, mainly because of injuries. I just don't understand how this could possibly be allowed to happen. The other issue is, let's say by some miracle, there are no injury issues throughout the World Baseball Classic. That would be fantastic. And it can happen. It's possible. I don't think it'd be crazy to think that no one would get hurt in this whole thing, but somebody does. Obviously everyone's going to be up in arms. But the other thing you have to ask is, what do these extra games mean? Extra playing 100% games.
Yeah, exactly.
Adding to the number of games in a season, essentially, that these players are trying to do in the 162 game grind. You're adding 20. How many? I don't know how many games they could possibly play if they make it to the final round. But it's close to 20. I think that is a significant addition to the wear and tear that you're putting on all these players. Does the season, by some miracle, that war of attrition, that wear and tear doesn't affect any of your players throughout the regular season? Then you get to the playoffs and somebody gets injured because they're approaching 200 games played. It's unbelievable this is happening. That specifically the names on your White Sox that I brought up at the beginning of this too long of a segment now, but just those particular players coming off injuries specifically and being the key to your 2023 season. All of them are. I don't think you can do without any of them and hope to approach, where you want to be this season. It's just an unbelievable confluence of events that I can't believe Rick Hahn and Jerry Reinsdorf are allowing to happen.
Yeah, I think there's, it's sort of the Sox are under a magnifying glass because of last season.
Yeah,
but I think some other teams probably should have told their players no too. But but like whatever. I
don't know what those situations are, but specifically the Whites. And this is a White Sox podcast right now, so that's why I could do similar rants for the other teams we talk about in the whole. But I just think this is going to be a story that lingers. It's something that's happening in spring training, but it's something that's going to be brought up throughout the season if there are issues down the road.
Yeah, I don't even know how many games it actually is.
It's not a ton, but
it's like probably.
I think if you make it to the final round, it adds up to a lot. Which you would think, the Dominican would be involved, Puerto Rico, Cuba might be involved. U.S. is usually in the final four of this.
It looks like you're looking at 1, 2, 3,
counting
about six games.
To get to the knockout stage, right?
No, to get to the
it's a round robin, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think. Anyway, we'll. I think more.
Well, the World Baseball Classic starts on Friday, I think. So we'll break down the World Baseball Classic a little bit more in the next episode of Sox Type of Thing, and we'll know more about it. We should have done this research before the show, but it's okay. We can put this off till next week if you want.
Yeah, it's gonna be too many games, to be honest.
One too many. Is enough.
Exactly.
ASKHOLE Media.